The silent watchers. Administrator Vexera's crystalline sensory arrays pulsed with an unsettling frequency as she studied the holographic display before her. 3,000 years of watching over developing civilizations had taught her to trust her instincts, and something about Earth's development pattern made her inner cores resonate with disquiet. Display temporal progression of human technological advancement, standard metrics, she commanded. The AI compiled the data, presenting a smooth, almost perfect curve of advancement across all sectors. Too perfect, too smooth. Compare with standard species development patterns, she added. The hologram split, showing hundreds of other civilizations' development curves alongside humanity's. Every other species showed the same jagged progression, sharp spikes in military technology during conflicts, followed by periods of medical and social advancement during peace. But humanity's curve was different. It showed simultaneous advancement across all fields, with an unusual emphasis on seemingly peaceful applications. Vexera's second-in-command, analyst Zentol, entered the observation chamber. His bioluminescent patterns indicated confusion. "Administrator, you requested my presence." "Look at this, Zentol. What do you see?" The analyst studied the display, his patterns shifting through various shades of puzzlement before settling into the deep blue of concern. This can't be right. No species advances like this. Where are their military development spikes? They're conflict-driven innovations. Exactly. Vexera manipulated the display, zooming in on Earth's orbital infrastructure. Now look at this. They have more satellites than any civilization we've ever encountered, yet claim they're all for civilian use. Their energy consumption suggests massive industrial capacity, yet their official military budget is minimal. Perhaps they truly are peaceful, Gentle suggested, though his patterns betrayed his doubt. No species achieves this level of advancement without military applications. It's not possible. Vexera pulled up another display, this one showing human entertainment broadcasts. Look at their fiction. Thousands of scenarios involving first contact, alien invasions, interstellar conflicts. They're preparing their population for something. But preparing for what? The Galactic Concordat has maintained peace for 3 millennia. We've prevented any major conflicts since the Great Dissolution. Vexera's crystalline form pulsed with a deep, resonant frequency. That's what worries me. Computer, display Earth's historical warfare patterns. The hologram filled with battles, strategies, and conflicts spanning thousands of years. One pattern emerged consistently. Humanity's most successful military leaders were those who achieved victory through deception, appearing weak when strong, chaotic when organized. They're not peaceful, Vexera concluded. They're hidden. Every other species we've encountered developed weapons first, then asked questions. Humans are doing the opposite, developing everything else first and hiding their military advancement in plain sight. But why? What purpose could it serve? Vexera's form darkened. Computer, analyze human research priorities over the last century. The data streamed across the display. Quantum computing, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, dimensional physics, all classified under civilian applications. But the patterns were there, hidden in the complexity. They're not just advancing their technology, she realized. They're advancing their ability to advance. Each breakthrough doesn't just solve a problem, it gives them tools to solve bigger problems faster. They're creating a technological singularity right under our sensors, and we've been too focused on traditional metrics to notice. Zentol's patterns shifted to alarm. We should alert the Concordat immediately. If humans are as advanced as you suspect. No, Vexera interrupted. We need more information first. If we're right about this, humans have managed to hide their true capabilities from the entire Concordat for centuries. That's not just advanced technology, that's advanced thinking. We need to understand why. She pulled up the communication protocols. Schedule a meeting with Earth's diplomatic corps. Tell them, she paused, considering her words carefully. Tell them we're interested in expanding our technology sharing initiative. Let's see how they respond when we offer them capabilities they might already have. As Xantol left to arrange the meeting, Vexteret turned back to the displays. Another human entertainment broadcast was playing, showing an ancient Earth military strategist. The words scrolled across the screen. All warfare is based on deception. Her crystalline form resonated with a frequency that in her species passed for laughter. After 3,000 years of watching overdeveloping civilizations, humanity had managed to surprise her. She had to admit she was impressed. The diplomatic dance. Ambassador Kalith stood before the massive windows of the Concordat's diplomatic vessel, watching Earth grow larger in the viewscreen. Her iridescent scales shifted colors with each thought, a cascade of blues and greens reflecting her carefully controlled anxiety. She was the Concordat's most successful negotiator, with 3 centuries of experience reading alien species. But humans were different. Approaching Earth orbital space, the ship's AI announced. Local authorities have granted access to docking pattern Sierra 7. Kalith observed the approach carefully. The orbital space around Earth appeared sparse by Concordat standards, a scattering of what humans call space stations and satellites. Yet something about their positioning nagged at her diplomatic instincts. Computer, overlay theoretical weapons coverage from observed human installations. The display shifted, showing overlapping fields of coverage. Perfect. Not a single blind spot or gap in the entire orbital sphere. Either humans were impossibly lucky in their satellite placement, or Ambassador, her aide, Trelvor, interrupted her thoughts. The human delegation is ready to receive us. The meeting took place in what humans called the International Space Station. Kalith had expected a primitive facility. Instead, she found herself in a surprisingly comfortable chamber that somehow accommodated both human and Concordat environmental needs perfectly. Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's chief diplomatic officer, greeted them with the traditional human expression of friendship, a smile. Ambassador Kalith, welcome to Earth. We're honored by your visit. The honor is mine, Kalith responded, noting how the human's vital signs remained perfectly steady. Most species showed at least some stress when meeting Concordat officials. We're very excited about expanding our technology sharing initiative. Of course, Dr. Chen replied, gesturing to a holographic display that materialized between them. We've prepared several proposals for cultural and scientific exchange. Over the next 3 hours, Kalith watched in growing fascination as the humans presented their wish list of technologies. Everything they requested was remarkably basic: improvements to agricultural systems, medical technology updates, environmental restoration techniques. Not a single military application. Dr. Chen, Kalith interrupted during a presentation about waste recycling systems. The Concordat is prepared to offer much more: advanced technologies. Perhaps something in the field of defensive systems. Chen's smile never wavered. That's very generous, Ambassador. However, we find our current defensive capabilities adequate for our needs. We're much more interested in technologies that can help us better serve our population. Kalith's scales rippled with subtle frustration. Surely you must have concerns about potential threats. The galaxy can be unpredictable. Oh, we're quite aware of the galaxy's unpredictability, Chen replied, her smile taking on an almost amused quality. But we prefer to focus on prevention rather than reaction. Speaking of which, would you like to see our latest advances in quantum-enabled agriculture? Later, back on the diplomatic vessel, Trelvor reviewed their findings. They accepted less than 30% of our offered technologies, Ambassador. All civilian applications. It's unprecedented. More interesting is what they showed us, Kalith mused. Did you notice their quantum agriculture facilities? The principles they're using. They could be easily adapted for quantum computing and AI development, Trelvor finished. And their waste recycling systems could be modified for advanced matter manipulation. Kalith's scales shifted to deep purple, the color of deep thought. Every single technology they showed us had dual applications. They're not just hiding their military capabilities. They're showing us exactly what they can do, but in the most peaceful context possible. It's almost like they're teaching us a lesson. Khalif finished. Computer, connect me to Administrator Vexra. Priority channel. Moments later, Vexra's crystalline form appeared in hologram. Ambassador, your report. They know, Khalif stated simply. Not only do they know we're watching them, but they're deliberately showing us alternatives to military applications of advanced technology. It's not just deception, it's demonstration. Vexra's form pulsed with concern. Demonstration of what? A different way of thinking. Every species we've encountered developed technology primarily for defense or conquest. Humans are developing it for everything else. And they're so far ahead in those applications that they can afford to show us exactly what they're doing, knowing we won't fully grasp the implications. There was a long pause before Vexra responded. The Concordat Council is considering a more direct approach to understanding human capabilities. Khalif's scales flashed warning colors. You mean a test? Administrator, I must advise against it. If I'm right about their level of advancement. The decision has already been made, Vexra interrupted. We need to understand what we're dealing with. The test begins in 3 standard cycles. As the hologram faded, Khalif turned back to the view of Earth. Dr. Chen's smile flashed in her memory. She had a disturbing feeling that the humans were already prepared for whatever test the Concordat had planned. The testing ground. The Concordat's emergency alert system activated across all diplomatic channels. A rogue asteroid, previously hidden in a sensor blind spot, was on a collision course with Earth. Impact estimated in 72 hours, too late for conventional intervention methods. The perfect crisis to test humanity's true capabilities. Admiral James Chen watched the alien transmission from the supposedly secret Helios command center beneath the Pacific Ocean. He allowed himself a small smile, so similar to his sister Sarah's diplomatic expression. They actually did it, he mused, right on schedule. Sir, his XO, Commander Maria Rodriguez, raised an eyebrow. Should we activate the defense grid? Not yet. Chen studied the holographic display showing the incoming asteroid. Let's see how committed they are to this particular script. Monitor all Concordat communications and movements, and get me the president. In her crystalline observation chamber, Administrator Vexra watched Earth's response with growing unease. The humans had immediately acknowledged the warning and thanked the Concordat for the alert. Then they had done nothing. No panic, no emergency broadcasts, no visible military mobilization, just calm requests for more detailed tracking data. They have to know they can't evacuate their population in time, analyst Lental observed. Even with their most advanced visible technology, they can't stop an asteroid of that size without external help. Unless that's exactly what they want us to think, Vexra responded. Check the asteroid's trajectory again. Maximum precision. The numbers flowed across her consciousness. Perfect. Too perfect. The asteroid would impact Earth's most populous continent in exactly 72 hours. The timing was immaculate. The threat severe, but not instantly catastrophic. A textbook crisis scenario. Administrator, a junior analyst interrupted. We're detecting unusual energy readings from Earth's dark side. Before Vexra could respond, Ambassador Kilit's hologram materialized. Her scales were shifting through warning colors. Administrator, the humans have requested an immediate conference. All Concordat species, full transparency protocols. Vexra's crystalline form pulsed with surprise. They've never requested a full conference before. What changed? They say they want to. Khalif's scales rippled with what might have been amusement. Thank us properly for our warning about the asteroid. In the Helios Command Center, Admiral Chen watched the Concordat representatives gather in their Grand Council chamber. Each species represented by their most senior officials, all gathered to witness humanity's response to crisis. Perfect. Status of operation looking glass? He asked. Commander Rodriguez checked her displays. All systems nominal, sir. Quantum entanglement network is stable. Solar observation posts confirm no unexpected variables. Very well. Chen straightened his uniform. Connect me to the Concordat Council. Full spectrum, maximum clarity. The massive quantum display in the Concordat chamber came alive with Chen's image. Behind him, displays showed various Earth facilities, all civilian, all calm, all thoroughly ordinary. Honorable representatives of the Concordat, Chen began, his voice carrying the same warm authority his sister used in diplomatic meetings. On behalf of humanity, I want to thank you for your prompt warning about the approaching asteroid. We're particularly impressed by its carefully calculated trajectory and perfect timing. A ripple of unease passed through the alien representatives. Vexra's crystalline form darkened slightly. However, Chen continued, we feel this might be an excellent opportunity for a different kind of demonstration, one that shows why humanity has chosen its particular path of development. He pressed a control on his desk. Please observe. The displays behind him changed. Suddenly, the Concordat representatives saw Earth as it truly was. Layers of quantum fields protecting the planet. Networks of satellites far more advanced than anything they had detected. And in high orbit, a series of stations that definitely weren't the primitive constructions they appeared to be. The asteroid, Chen explained, will be passing through our defense grid in approximately 3 minutes. Rather than deflect it, we thought you might be interested in seeing something more constructive. On every display, the asteroid came into range of Earth's orbital network. Energy fields flickered, space itself seemed to bend, and in an instant, the massive rocks simply transformed. Where there had been a planet-killing asteroid, there was now a perfectly formed space station, its materials completely reconstructed at the quantum level. Matter reconstruction on that scale is impossible, Gentile whispered. The energy requirements alone. Impossible by whose standards? Chen asked gently. We found that impossible usually just means no one has thought about the problem the right way yet. Vexra moved forward, her crystalline form pulsing with intense frequencies. Why show us this now? Why reveal your true capabilities? Because, Chen replied, we believe it's time for a new kind of conversation, one about why a civilization might choose to appear less advanced than it is, about why true strength might lie in choosing not to demonstrate power at all. He smiled, and in that expression, the Concordat representatives saw 3,000 years of their own assumptions about civilization and progress turned completely upside down. Now then, Chen concluded, shall we discuss what peace really means? The great revelation. The Concordat Council chamber had never been so silent. Representatives from 1,000 worlds watched as Dr. Sarah Chen joined her brother on the quantum display. Behind them, Earth's true face continued to shine, a world wrapped in layers of technology so advanced it appeared almost magical. For 3,000 years, Sarah began, the Concordat has maintained peace through power. Through watching, waiting, and careful control of technological development, it was a noble goal, born from the ashes of the Great Dissolution, but it was also fundamentally flawed. Flawed. Vexra's crystalline form pulsed with diplomatic caution. We prevented countless wars, guided hundreds of species to peaceful cooperation. Yes, Admiral Chen agreed, but at what cost? Every species under Concordat guidance follows the same pattern: military development first, then grudging cooperation under supervision. You created peace through the threat of superior force. Sarah stepped forward. We chose a different path. When we first detected Concordat observations of Earth, we had already begun to understand something crucial about technological development. The most powerful technologies aren't weapons, they're tools of creation. The display behind them shifted, showing the history of human development from a new perspective. Not the carefully crafted facade they'd shown the Concordat, but their true path of advancement. Every technology we developed, Admiral Chen explained, was designed with multiple applications from the start. Our quantum fields aren't just for defense, they're for environmental restoration, weather control, and solar system maintenance. Our matter reconstruction abilities weren't developed for weapons, but for solving resource scarcity and enabling deep space exploration. Impossible, Gentile interrupted. No species naturally develops that way. The drive for survival, for military superiority, is a choice, Sarah completed, one we consciously rejected. We looked at our own history, at the pattern of conflict and advancement through warfare, and we decided to try something unprecedented. We chose to advance through cooperation instead of competition. The displays showed Earth's hidden networks, its true infrastructure. Quantum computers that didn't just process information but reshaped reality itself. Energy systems that didn't merely harness power but transformed it. And at the heart of it all, a civilization that had transcended the need for military might. Your test asteroid, Admiral Chen smiled. We detected its construction 3 months ago. We could have stopped it, exposed your plan, even reversed the entire operation. Instead, we chose to use it as a demonstration. A demonstration of what? Ambassador Khalif asked, her scales shifting through colors of fascination and confusion. Of the difference between power and strength, Sarah replied. True strength isn't in the ability to destroy or dominate. It's in the choice not to, even when you can. The displays shifted again, showing something that made even the most composed Concordat representatives gasp. Earth's quantum fields extended far beyond their solar system, creating a network of protective and creative forces that dwarfed anything the Concordat had achieved. We could have revealed ourselves at any time, Admiral Chen said quietly. We could have challenged the Concordat's authority, demonstrated our superiority. Instead, we waited, developed and prepared, not for war, but for this moment, the moment when we could show you a different way. 3,000 years of peace through power, Sarah added. We're proposing something different, peace through creation, through the shared understanding that the greatest achievements come not from the ability to destroy, but from the choice to create. Vexra's crystalline form pulsed with a deep, resonant frequency, the closest her species could come to wonder. You've been teaching us all along, she realized. Every technology you showed us, every peaceful application, were demonstrations of what's possible when you approach advancement from a different perspective, Sarah confirmed. We're not here to challenge the Concordat's authority. We're here to offer a partnership, to show you what's possible when you stop preparing for war and start preparing for discovery. The council chamber erupted in discussion, thousands of representatives trying to process this fundamental shift in their understanding of civilization and progress. But through it all, Vexra kept her focus on the human siblings. In their calm smiles, she saw not just confidence or superiority, but genuine hope, hope for a future where peace wasn't maintained through power, but through the shared journey of creation. A new dawn. 1 year after humanity's revelation, the Concordat's observation chamber looked very different. Where once crystalline displays had monitored developing civilizations for signs of military advancement, now they tracked the spread of something far more powerful, ideas. Administrator Vexra stood with Ambassador Khalif and Dr. Sarah Chen, watching the galaxy transform. Thousands of points of light represented worlds adopting what had become known as the Terra Protocol, the systematic redevelopment of technology for creative rather than destructive purposes. I still can't quite believe how quickly it's spreading, Khalif admitted, her scales shimmering with wonder. Even species that have been hostile for millennia are requesting inclusion in the program. Because we're offering something they've never had before, Sarah explained. Not just peace through constraint, but freedom through creation. The central display showed their latest project, the transformation of the Carina Nebula's dying stars into a vast network of stellar nurseries. Technology that could have been used for weapons instead being used to birth new suns. The latest data from the Proxime initiative is ready, announced Admiral Chen's hologram as it materialized beside them. 14 more star systems have successfully implemented the quantum reformation protocols. Their industrial capacity has tripled, while their military spending has dropped by 89%. Vexera's crystalline form pulsed with frequencies of satisfaction and lingering amazement. When we first detected Earth's unusual development pattern, we thought we were dealing with an unprecedented form of deception. Instead, we were witnessing an unprecedented form of wisdom. Not unprecedented, Sarah corrected gently, just forgotten. Humanity's history is full of moments where creation trumped destruction, where innovation overcame conflict. We just needed to make it our primary path instead of our alternative one. The display shifted to show the Sol system, now a shining example of what Admiral Chen called constructive advancement. The asteroid belt had been transformed into a network of habitats and research stations. Mars bore vast oceans under its quantum-stabilized atmosphere, and Earth itself glowed with the soft light of a civilization that had transcended the need for weapons. The most remarkable aspect, Khalith observed, is how this has affected species development patterns. Show the comparative analysis, please. The hologram expanded, displaying development curves from hundreds of worlds. The jagged patterns of military-driven advancement were being replaced by smooth, multifaceted growth across all sectors: science, culture, exploration, and innovation. It's not just technology that's changing, Admiral Chen noted. It's consciousness itself. When you show civilizations that their greatest threats can become their greatest opportunities, something fundamental shifts in their collective thinking. Sarah stepped forward, manipulating the display to show the next phase of their galaxy-wide initiative. The real work is just beginning. There are still species who view power through the lens of destruction, still those who believe that advancement must come through conflict. But now we have something we never had before, Vexera added. Proof, tangible, undeniable evidence that there's another way. The display zoomed out, showing the full galaxy with all its interconnected points of light, each representing a civilization beginning to understand what humanity had known all along, that the greatest power lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the choice to create. 3,000 years ago, Admiral Chen reflected, the Concordat chose peace through power. 1 year ago, we showed them peace through creation. Now we build something entirely new, Sarah completed. A civilization where advancement isn't measured by destructive capability, but by creative capacity. Where species don't just survive together, they thrive together. Vexera's form resonated with the deep frequency of profound understanding. You know, when we first detected Earth's unusual patterns, we thought we were the watchers and humanity was being watched. Now I understand. You're watching us, waiting for the right moment to show us what was possible. Not watching, Sarah corrected with her characteristic gentle smile. Teaching. Sometimes the best lessons are the ones where the student doesn't realize they're learning until the moment of understanding arrives. As they stood together, human, crystalline, and scaled forms united in common purpose, the galaxy continued its transformation around them. The great experiment that humanity had begun was now becoming a universal journey. Not peace through power, not advancement through conflict, but progress through creation. The 3,000-year era of peace through control was over. The age of peace through creation had begun, and in the soft light of newly born stars and transformed worlds, the galaxy's civilizations were finally learning to smile together.